The idea of shooting a movie came up in the year 2009, at least for this movie. There were some other ideas before that, but the effort was not followed through. I teamed up with my colleagues, and we decided to come up with a short film. For us to come up with something different, we had to start with a script that was limited in various aspects. One aspect being time, the other aspect being the amount of funds that will be used on that particular film. That aside, we had to make sure that any effort that went into producing the movie was an effort that would reach or meet the standards of international filmmaking. That in itself was a challenge, and still is a challenge. But obviously, if you want to make a difference in any sector, you have to be ready to face any challenges that come your way. So, together with my colleagues, Mr. Clifford Okumu and Mr. Amaina Wanjohi, we sat down, and Mr. Okumu, who is a profound member of the team, and him being a scriptwriter, they had to come up with a script that would create a story of at least 45 minutes to 1 hour. And after going through it, we agreed that we are going to embark on shooting and final production of that movie. So by mid-2009, we started looking for the cast. And since we wanted to make sure that we use minimal resources in terms of funds for the movie, we had to identify cast whom we know that could give us the kind of acting that we were expecting. Obviously, the standards of acting, when you speak in terms of the country or the region, East African region, Kenya in particular, the standards are a bit minimum, or they're not up to par. So we had to make sure we work out a strategy that will make the cast give us at least a percentage or a degree of acting that will be up to par with the expectations that we had. It was an urge, the thirst to come up with something different, something that had standards affiliated to it was very high. First, the kind of movies we get to see, they are categorized into proportions that you'll want to see and others that you'll not want to see. You either talk about Hollywood, you either talk about Bollywood, you either talk about Nollywood or Riverwood. The last two are especially to be termed as African productions. They are in no way in comparison with the first two. The reasons that makes this make it be so are not as evident as you might want to see. So the question was, is it not possible to come up with a production that can meet the standards of either the first or the second in terms of production? Movie consumerism is made up of different personalities, different categories of people within the country, yeah. And most of the people that we talked to or we engaged before we came up with this production were of the opinion that whatever they're getting in the market is not up to par. they can in no way compare it to the kind of production they get outside the continent. So that was the second point that made us come up with this production, so that we could at least put a pointer across that it can be done and the standards can be applied and a good production can come from this part of the continent, or rather from this part of the country.